So this film had such a limited release. There was literally only 2 showings for not even a week, like 6 days in my cinema. And it's a fairly big cinema. But I don't know why, because it was amazing. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews just like this one here at the weekend. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free, and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above. So yes, this is my review of Theatre Camp. I absolutely loved it. Now, it's come under some criticism because of the kind of people who were making it and how it's a little bit chaotic and is sort of like improvised but not improvised. However, if you are a fan of Drop Dead Gorgeous, which is a mockumentary following a beauty pageant contest, or I think if you are an Office fan who also loves a little bit of theatre, then you will love this one. Drop Dead Gorgeous is like one of my favourite films. I could watch it anytime, anywhere. And I love the mockumentary style of it. Like, sitting in watching Theatre Camp made me want to come home and watch Drop Dead Gorgeous. It's so funny. It's this mockumentary style thing about Theatre Camp, which obviously doesn't really exist here in the UK. Like, there's elements of it, but because we don't have that long summer, you don't really go, for as long to sleepaway camp. And so it kind of begins with the founder of Theatre Camp, who is Amy Sedaris, who's always really funny. But then, she ends up in a coma. Again, it's not a spoiler. It happens fairly early on. If you watch the first 5 minutes of the film, you'd get it. And so then we just follow the kind of basically sort of semi-demise of like what happens when the person in charge isn't there, and it's kind of left up to the people to put on this theatre camp. So it was just, it's Ben Platt, it's like his fiance and his bestie, and but that they're not in the film, but they are in real life. And then you've got all these other characters that you would definitely, they're the stereotypical, they're the like larger than life version of themselves, but you kind of feel like these people are like this in real life. But it doesn't, I was thinking that it might be a little bit more musical, like a sort of Disney Channel type of thing. I didn't realise it was a mockumentary. I'd have been even more like keen to see it if I knew it was a mockumentary, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a little bit like, your Disney Channel type of movie like that. Not another Teen Beach movie, or your kind of Lizzie McGuire type of thing. And so I was expecting a little more singing and dancing, which I think it's a good thing that there wasn't more singing and dancing, because they do kind of take the mick out of themselves a little bit in this mockumentary style. And I think if there had been a little bit more singing and dancing, it wouldn't have been as funny, and it also wouldn't have been as accessible, because you can go and watch this even if you are not a fan of musical theatre, even if you're not a fan of like regular theatre, because they do kind of really typify those like theatre types and that kind of generation of people as well, so like a younger generation than myself, obviously. And I just thought it was really funny. It's got a little bit of like, there's a famous now I'm not sure if he's just a TikToker or if he has YouTube or what, but he's got this like person in there, and kind of that person coming into the theatre world and not knowing anything about the theatre world, and kind of the theatre world not really being part of his influencer world. And he's got his like original ballers that were there with him at the start of his career. And so it really is the kind of meeting of these two worlds, and like, what could possibly go wrong? But it was just wholesome and entertaining. I laughed out loud. The other people in the cinema laughed out loud. There wasn't too much like all singing, all dancing, jazz hands. It's not Glee. I wouldn't have been complaining if it was, but just thinking about a more broader audience out there. And it was just really funny. I think, as I say, if you like that mockumentary style, if you like The Office, if like me, you like Drop Dead Gorgeous, I feel like it's a bit of a cult one, is Drop Dead Gorgeous. Not that many people have seen it, and yet everybody's in it. Really need to go away and watch it now. That would make me happy. Right, the thing to watch before the first day of school. Drop Dead Gorgeous, that would be nice. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. It's the plot is pretty much there. You're following the theatre camp kids, you're following the camp counsellors. There's some shocking bits, there's some heartwarming bits, and I just think it was just really good. I don't know why it's had such a limited release. It was like a big hit at the Cannes Festival, and then it got, this really limited release, in that my big movie theatre was only showing it for a week, and it only had 2 showings a day. They were quite early as well. It was 4 o'clock and half 6, so like I could only really do the 4 o'clock because I wasn't in like full time back to class. It was just a training day. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I really recommend. Should you pay your cinema going money to go and see it? Well, I don't think you can, because I think it's out of all theatres now. If you can find it near you, it would be nice to see on big screen. However, you should seek this film out, find out where it's streaming, when it's streaming, and watch it, because I think it's really fun. It wasn't too long, made me laugh. I really enjoyed it. So there you have it. As always, if there is a particular movie you would like me to go and watch this week and share my thoughts with you here next week, do let me know in comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell, because I have my August reading wrap up and my September TBR coming your way very soon, as well as my Disney cruise vlog. So you are not going to want to miss out on those. But that being said, I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching.